don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. Hey there. I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're watching this at your desk, on your phone, or somewhere quiet, this is your time. This is your moment. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're standing at the edge of something great, but something's holding you back? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's doubt. Or maybe it's the weight of past failures. Whatever it is, I want you to know this. You're not alone. And today, we're going to break through those barriers together. Over the next hour, we're going to talk about what it takes to believe in yourself, overcome challenges, and take action toward the life you deserve. This isn't just about motivation, it's about transformation. By the end of this, you're going to feel inspired, empowered, and ready to take on the world. But before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. Seriously. Right now, inhale deeply. Hold it for a second. And exhale. Let go of any distractions. Let go of any negativity. This is your time. Let's begin. The power of self-belief and perseverance. Let's start with something simple yet profoundly powerful. Self-belief. It's the invisible force that shapes our lives. The foundation upon which every dream, goal, and achievement is built. Without it, even the most talented individuals can falter. Their potential left untapped. But with it, you become unstoppable. You can defy the odds, break through barriers, and achieve what once seemed impossible. Take a moment to really think about this. Every great accomplishment in history, every invention, every masterpiece, every groundbreaking idea, began with a single spark of belief. Someone, somewhere, looked at the world and said, I can do this. They didn't have all the answers. And they certainly didn't have a guarantee of success. What they had was the courage to believe in themselves, even when others doubted them. Consider Thomas Edison. For example, when we think of the light bulb, we think of him as the genius who brought light to the world. But what we often forget are the countless failures that came before his success. Edison didn't invent the light bulb on his first try, or even his 100th. He failed over 1,000 times before he finally got it right. When asked how it felt to fail so many times, he famously replied, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Can you imagine that kind of persistence? That kind of unwavering belief in his vision? It's awe-inspiring. Then there's J. K. Rowling. A name synonymous with one of the most beloved book series of all time. But before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. She wrote the first book in cafes while her baby slept beside her. When she finished, she faced rejection after rejection. 12 publishers turned her down before one finally took a chance on her story. Today, her books have sold over 500 million copies. And she's inspired millions of readers around the world. What kept her going during those tough times? It wasn't just talent or luck, it was her unshakable belief in her story and her refusal to give up. These stories aren't just about success. They're about resilience. They're about the power of self-belief to carry us through the darkest moments. To remind us that failure isn't the end, it's just a step on the path to something greater. And here's the thing. That same power exists within you. You are capable of more than you realize. But self-belief isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It's built through small, consistent actions. Every time you push through a challenge. Every time you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. Your belief in yourself grows stronger. Think about a time in your life when you doubted yourself but ended up succeeding anyway. Maybe it was a project at work, a difficult conversation, or a personal goal you weren't sure you could achieve. Remember how it felt when you proved yourself wrong. That surge of pride, that sense of accomplishment, that's the magic of self-belief. Hold on to that feeling. Let it remind you of what you're capable of. Now, let me ask you something. What's one thing you've been putting off because you're afraid you'll fail? Maybe it's starting a new business, pursuing a creative passion, or even having a difficult conversation with someone you care about. What if, instead of focusing on the possibility of failure, you focused on the possibility of success? What if you allowed yourself to dream bigger? To take that first step? And to trust in your ability to figure things out along the way? The truth is, the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. The world is full of people who will doubt you, who will tell you that your dreams are too big or too unrealistic. But here's the secret. Their doubts don't define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. Do you let their skepticism hold you back? Or do you use it as fuel to prove them wrong? Believe in your potential. Believe in your ability to learn, to grow, and to overcome. Because when you do, you'll find that you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. You'll discover a strength within yourself that can carry you through any challenge. And most importantly, you'll realize that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the belief that you can achieve them. So, take a deep breath. Trust yourself. And take that first step. The journey won't always be easy. But I promise you this. It will be worth it. Because when you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. Overcoming failure and turning setbacks into opportunities. Now, let's talk about failure. It's a word that often feels heavy, loaded with fear, shame, and disappointment. We're taught to avoid it at all costs. To see it as a mark of inadequacy or a sign that we're not good enough. But here's the truth, the real, raw, and liberating truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's not the enemy. In fact, failure is one of the most powerful teachers you'll ever have. It's a necessary part of the journey. A stepping stone on the path to greatness. Let me ask you this. When you think of failure, what comes to mind? Do you feel a knot in your stomach? A voice in your head whispering, "What if I'm not good enough?" I get it. I've been there too. But what if I told you that every failure you've ever experienced has been preparing you for something extraordinary? What if I told you that the moments you've fallen down are the very moments that will one day lift you up? Take Michael Jordan, for example. His name is synonymous with greatness, with basketball, with success. But do you know how his story began? He was cut from his high school basketball team. Can you imagine that? The greatest basketball player of all time was once told he wasn't good enough. But instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as fuel. He said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Let that sink in. His failures weren't the end of his story, they were the foundation of it. Or consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Before she became a self-made billionaire, she was just a woman with an idea and a dream. She faced rejection after rejection, hearing no more times than most of us could stomach. But instead of letting those rejections break her, she used them as opportunities to refine her pitch, to strengthen her resolve, and to prove to herself that she could keep going. Today, Spanx is a household name. And Sarah's story is a testament to the power of persistence and resilience. Here's the thing. Failure is not the end. It's feedback. It's a chance to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger than before. It's proof that you're trying, that you're daring to step out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. And that's where the magic happens, not in playing it safe, but in taking risks, falling down, and getting back up again. I want you to take a moment and think about a time when you failed. Really think about it. What did it feel like in that moment? The disappointment, the frustration, maybe even the embarrassment. But now, think about what came after. What did you learn from that experience? How did it shape you into the person you are today? Chances are, That failure taught you something valuable, something you couldn't have learned any other way. Maybe it taught you resilience. Maybe it showed you a strength you didn't know you had. Or maybe it simply reminded you that you're human. And that's okay. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's a sign that you're living boldly. That you're refusing to settle for mediocrity. So, the next time you face a setback, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. What can I learn from this? And how can I use this to grow? Because every failure is an opportunity in disguise. It's a chance to recalibrate, to reassess, and to move forward with even greater clarity and determination. Remember, every great success story is filled with chapters of failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck, it's persistence. It's the willingness to keep going, even when it feels like the world is against you. It's the courage to say, "This isn't the end of my story. This is just the beginning." So, the next time you stumble, don't let it define you. Let it refine you. Let it remind you that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And most importantly, let it fuel your fire to keep going. Because the road to success isn't a straight line, it's a winding path filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But every step, every fall, and every rise is part of the journey. And it's a journey worth taking. Setting and achieving meaningful goals. Now, let's talk about goals. Not just any goals, meaningful goals. The kind of goals that stir something deep within you. That make your heart race and your mind come alive with possibility. These aren't the goals you set because someone else expects it of you. Or because they sound impressive. These are the goals that align with your deepest values, your passions, and your vision for the life you want to create. They're the goals that light a fire in your soul and push you to become the best version of yourself. But here's the thing. Setting a goal is easy. We've all done it, written down a list of things we want to achieve, only to forget about them weeks or even days later. The real magic, the real challenge, lies in the pursuit of those goals. It's in the daily grind, the small decisions, the moments when you want to give up but choose to keep going anyway. That's where the transformation happens. That's where you discover what you're truly made of. Let me share a story with you. Think about Elon Musk. When he started SpaceX, his goal wasn't just to build rockets or make a profit. His goal was to make humanity a multiplanetary species. Can you imagine the audacity of that vision? The sheer scale of it? It's the kind of goal that most people would dismiss as impossible. Even ridiculous. But not Elon. He saw a future that others couldn't. And he committed himself to making it a reality. Along the way, he's faced countless setbacks, failed launches, financial struggles, public criticism. But his clear, unwavering vision has kept him focused and driven. Even in the face of overwhelming odds. Now, I'm not saying you have to aim to colonize Mars to have a meaningful goal. Your goal might be to start a business, write a book, run a marathon, or simply create a life filled with more joy and purpose. What matters is that your goal resonates with you. That it's something you care about deeply. Something that excites you and scares you at the same time. Because that's how you know it's worth pursuing. So, how do you set meaningful goals? It starts with asking yourself some tough but important questions. What truly matters to me? What kind of life do I want to create? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions aren't always easy to answer. But they're essential. They force you to dig deep. To get honest with yourself about what you really want, not what society, your family, or your peers expect of you. Take a moment to think about your own goals. Are they aligned with your values and passions? Do they excite you? Or do they feel like obligations? Are they challenging enough to push you out of your comfort zone? But not so overwhelming that they paralyze you? Be honest with yourself. This is your life. And your goals should reflect you, not anyone else. Once you've set your goals, the next step is to break them down into actionable steps. A big, audacious goal can feel intimidating if you don't know where to start. But when you break it down into smaller, manageable pieces, it becomes less about the overwhelming end result and more about the progress you can make today. Remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And you're not here to wish, you're here to make things happen. And here's the most important part. Celebrate your progress along the way. Every small win, every step forward, is worth acknowledging. It's easy to get so focused on the end goal that you forget to appreciate how far you've come. But the journey matters just as much as the destination. Those small wins are proof that you're moving forward. That you're capable of achieving what you set out to do. So, take a moment to celebrate them. Give yourself credit for the effort you're putting in. Because it matters. Now, let me ask you this. What's one goal you've been putting off? Maybe it's something you've been dreaming about for years but haven't taken the first step toward. Maybe it's something you've been too afraid to even admit you want. Whatever it is, I want you to think about it. And then, ask yourself, what's one step I can take today to move closer to it? It doesn't have to be a big step, it just has to be a step. Because progress, no matter how small, is still progress. And every step you take brings you closer to the life you want to create. So, what are you waiting for? The time to start is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when everything feels perfect. Because here's the truth. It will never feel perfect. There will always be reasons to wait. To hesitate. To doubt yourself. But you don't have to let those reasons stop you. You have the power to take that first step. To commit to your goals. And to create the life you've always dreamed of. And I believe in you. Now. It's time to believe in yourself. The importance of taking consistent action. Finally. Let's talk about action. Because here's the truth. Without action, nothing changes. Ideas, dreams, and plans are just thoughts unless you do something about them. It's like having a map to a treasure but never taking a single step to find it. What good is the map if you don't use it? Success isn't about making one big, dramatic move. It's about the small, quiet steps you take every single day. It's about showing up. Even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it. Those little steps add up over time. And before you know it, you've walked miles. Think about Stephen King. Before he became one of the most famous writers in the world, he was just a janitor trying to make ends meet. Life wasn't easy for him. But he made a promise to himself. He would write every day. No matter what. Some days, he probably didn't feel inspired. Some days, he might have wanted to give up. But he kept going. And because of that consistency, he created stories that have touched millions of lives. His books didn't happen overnight, they happened because he took one small step after another. So, what about you? What's one thing you can do every day to move closer to your goals? It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Maybe it's writing one page. Making one phone call. Or spending 15 minutes learning something new. Small steps are still steps. And over time, they lead to big changes. Here's something important to remember. Motivation doesn't last forever. Some days, you'll wake up feeling excited and ready to conquer the world. Other days, you'll feel tired, unsure, or even afraid. That's normal. But discipline, showing up even when you don't feel like it, that's what keeps you moving forward. Even on the hardest days. Take one small step. Just one. That's how you build momentum. That's how you keep going. So, I want to ask you, what's your next step? What's one thing you can do today to move closer to your dreams? It doesn't have to be big or fancy. It just has to be something. Because every step you take is a step toward the life you want. And you're worth that effort. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Take that first step. And then take another. You've got this. We've covered a lot today. The power of self-belief. The importance of embracing failure. Setting meaningful goals. And taking consistent action. These are the building blocks of success. The tools you need to create the life you've always dreamed of. But here's the most important thing to remember. The one truth that changes everything. You already have everything you need to succeed. That's right. Everything you're looking for, the courage, the strength, the potential, it's already inside you. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. It's the self-doubt that whispers, "You're not good enough." It's the fear that says, "What if you fail?" It's the excuses that keep you stuck in the same place. But here's the thing. You don't have to listen to those voices anymore. You don't have to let them hold you back. It's time to let go. It's time to believe in yourself. Take action. And create the life you deserve. So, here's my challenge to you. Before this day ends, take one step, just one, toward your goal. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. Maybe it's writing down your goals for the first time. Making a plan. Or reaching out to someone who can help you. Maybe it's committing to a small daily habit that will move you forward. Whatever it is, take that step. Because every journey begins with a single step. And this is yours. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Every great achiever, every person you admire, started right where you are now. They had doubts. They faced challenges. They failed. Sometimes over and over again. But they kept going. They kept believing. And if they can do it, so can you. You have the same potential. The same strength. The same ability to rise above whatever stands in your way. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for showing up. For being here. For daring to dream of something more. This is your time. This is your moment. The world is waiting for you to step into your power. To share your gifts. And to create something extraordinary. I believe in you. I believe in your potential. Your resilience. And your ability to achieve greatness. Now, it's time for you to believe in yourself. Go out there and make it count. You've got this. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care. And see you next time.